I'm gonna hold your hand when I say this. We're close, okay? You cannot keep neglecting your scalp. You just can't, okay? Hair health starts with the scalp, and if your scalp is screaming for your help, your curls are not going to thrive. So today we're gonna be having an in-depth discussion on all things scalp health, how to keep it hydrated, and how to keep those flakes at bay. Hi curl cousins, my name is Nyla, and welcome to Nyla's Declassified. This is gonna be like my behind the scenes hair care series where I'm gonna talk about all things hair care products, reviews, tips, and tricks. So if you see my account on TikTok, that's kind of like the trailer, but what you're gonna see here is gonna be the full movie. So today we're gonna be talking about all things scalp health. I'm gonna actually take y'all in the shower with me, which y'all know I don't always do that. So we're gonna be doing a full wash day routine that is focused on scalp health. So I'm gonna show y'all my pre-wash routine, my shampoo, my hydrating shampoo, my conditioner, and the leave-in conditioner that I use when I am doing a full scalp reset. So if you're excited about this video, please like, comment, and share out to a friend, and let's get started. So it is time for the first step in my detox process, which happens before the shower. We're gonna be doing a pre-wash treatment. I'm honestly a little sad to wash my hair because like the curls are still popping for real, but as I shake my hair, there's literally flakes coming out, so it's definitely time for a detox. First, we're gonna go in with the Briogeo Scalp Revival Rosemary Pre-Wash Oil. Now, a lot of people ask me, they're like, Nyla, why would I use an oil if my scalp is already clogged? And I totally get it. However, the science in this is that it helps balance the pH balance in your scalp, and it helps create like a healthy microbiome for your scalp. Briogeo could explain the science a lot better than I can. I'm gonna put it on the screen so y'all can really see it. But all in all, I'm gonna tell y'all how it feels. I really love the experience of putting this on my hair. I feel like it has a very nice like cooling effect. It's got the rosemary in it. And I really notice the difference when I use this and then I go back and follow up with their Scalp Revival shampoo, which I'm gonna show y'all in a minute. So I really love this. You shake it up good before you use it, and then you just go in row by row and oil your scalp. And typically they recommend for you to put this in at least a few hours before washing or like overnight, but I kind of forgot to do that. So I'm gonna put this in and then eat a snack, and then I'm gonna get back to wash day because we don't have time to waste. Now you can be like as meticulous with this as you wanna be. I used to like go in and part meticulously row by row and really get it in my whole head. You can do that if you want, but you really don't have to. So I just go in. I love the nozzle because you can really get in deep, and I just apply it straight to my scalp. And I go in between the layers. And also, if there's a place where my scalp has felt particularly itchy, I really make sure to go in right there. And then I just kind of massage it in a little bit to make sure that it's really running through. This really doesn't need to take you long. I try to keep like my pre-wash treatments from being something that takes me a long time because that just prolongs wash day in general. And I'm just adding it into my scalp. Also, if you are looking to invest in Briogeo products, I would highly recommend doing their bundles on their website because you can literally bundle any products that you want, and the more that you bundle, the more discount you get. So I did like a Briogeo haul last summer, and I was able to get this pre-wash oil. I got the other oil that I have for them, and I think like 2 other products, and I got it all 20% off because of what I purchased and like how I bundled it. So it definitely makes it a little bit more affordable because this is a bit of a more expensive hair care line for sure. And then I get around my edges. Just gonna go in and massage my scalp. All right, so we have the pre-wash oil in. Usually you would want to use it like the night before or at least a few hours before, but I'm just gonna go eat a quick snack and then I'll meet y'all back in the shower. All right, we've had our snack. I know I said I was gonna meet y'all in the shower, but I actually need to detangle my hair first. It's not super tangly, but I like to go in with my hair like 100% detangled before I do my scalp detox, because I will say that the shampoo I use can be very like stripping on your hair. And when your hair is stripped, it gets tangled very easily. So I'm just gonna go in first and make sure that my hair is like fully detangled and ready to go. When I detangle my flexi rod sets, I really just go in and I finger separate the curls first. I feel like that just like goes faster, and I feel like a lot of the times when I'm detangling flexi rods, my hair is like super tangled at the ends. So just going through with those with my fingers is a lot more gentle than trying to like get through it with my brush. Then I'm gonna take my spray bottle with water in it and just start to saturate my hair. Then I'm gonna go in with my African Pride pre-poo. All the girlies talk about this online. It really is a great pre-poo for detangling your hair. It's got a consistency like this. It's pretty much made of just like aloe and coconut water, so it's very hydrating too, but it just really helps you get through stubborn knots and tangles in your hair. A lot of girlies use it without putting water on first, but I feel like I have to go through so much of the product when I don't wet it first, so I like to go in and wet my hair first. And when I'm like running through it, if I just like come into a knot with my fingers, I just go ahead and finger separate them so I can be gentle. So I'm kind of like just lightly finger combing through a little bit of it, and it's really just already starting to go through really easily. So now I'm gonna grab my unbrush, which is like my favorite detangling brush, and I'm just detangling from the ends all the way up. And you see how my brush is just going through my hair like butter? That's exactly what you want to experience. And I'm just gonna twist up the section and put it to the side. Okay. I know a lot of people kind of argue about whether or not you need to detangle your hair before you get in the shower. And honestly, I'm kind of on the fence about it. I feel like if I have a style that I've had in my hair for like over a week or two, I definitely like to pre-detangle. And whenever I do flexi rod sets, I like to pre-detangle. But otherwise, I usually just hop straight in the shower, and the shampoos that I use detangle my hair on their own, so it's really not a big deal. But since I'm doing this particular detox and the products that I'm gonna use, I really didn't want my hair to get tangled up, especially given the style that I had it in this week. Actually so scary because it really does look like I have heat damage, but I don't. Okay, and then I'm just gonna take this group and pin it back out the way. So we are all done with detangling. I've clipped it back with my clips. This is how much hair we lost, which is honestly like not a lot at all, so we did pretty good so far. So I'm gonna get everything for my wash day set up, and I will meet y'all back in the shower this time. So we finally made it to the shower. I like to start by just really rinsing my hair and getting it fully saturated. And then I'm also making sure that I go in and rinse out all of that pre-poo that we use, that you don't want any of that to be in there. You're also gonna cleanse a lot of it out when you shampoo, but I just really like to get all of it off before I go in and really do my cleanse. I'm just separating the twist that I put in whenever I detangled, and then just kind of raking through and making sure that all the product is out. I'm also just kind of like rubbing into my scalp as well. So now we're going in with the Briogeo Scalp Revival Micro Exfoliating Shampoo. I opened up a new tub of it, and it is truly charcoal, y'all. Like, it is actually a charcoal scrub shampoo, which honestly I love, because if you've ever done like a skin scrub or like a sugar scrub, it kind of feels like that, but like for your scalp, which is what makes this amazing. And so I just put it on my fingers and just scrub right in, and it lathers up so beautifully. Like, for it to go from being a charcoal scrub to a full-on shampoo lather is like kind of crazy science to me, but I just love how it feels. It kind of gives you a little bit of that rough exfoliating sensation without being harsh, and then it kind of eventually sets into a lather, which just makes it such a luxurious experience. And I'm just going section by section. For me, it's easiest for me to shampoo my hair in 6 sections, 3 on each side, but different people with varying densities and lengths may decide what works best for them. But this just makes sure that I get into every single crevice. I'm really scrubbing on the scalp, and as you can tell, I am not really getting a lot of product on my ends. Now, some product is just getting onto the ends because it's just running down, but as you can tell, I am particularly focusing on my scalp and like the very roots of my hair. But I'm not intentionally scrubbing this product into my ends, because you want to keep it concentrated at the roots. And I'm just continuing to really exfoliate. I'm also getting in good at my middle part, because a lot of times she gets very neglected back there, which is not good, because I part my hair down the middle like almost every week. So you really want to make sure you're cleansing that area too. And then I am going in with my scrubber and just really going going around my edges. Think about the amount of product you use at your edges between like gels and serums and oils and greases and butters. Like I feel like I get a lot of buildup there and a lot of buildup of dead skin. So you really want to make sure you're cleansing. And then here I am just doing my favorite part, which is washing out the shampoo. I'm just kind of going in and gently squeezing my hair to get all of the shampoo out, and then also rubbing into my roots to kind of like loosen up some of those suds from my hair strands. And this is where having a detachable shower head is so important, because you can really get in underneath, around, and on top to get all that shampoo out. And this is how gorgeous my hair looked like, just completely squeaky clean. So now for the honey cream shampoo. This is my hydrating shampoo, and I love this shampoo. I talk about this on my TikTok all the time. It feels like if a creamy conditioner was a shampoo, it would be this. It is extremely hydrating, and it uses honey as a humectant to bring moisture and seal it into the strands, and that's what I love about it. It is just such a luxurious experience, and this is the perfect shampoo to use after you have done a heavy detox or like a clarifying shampoo. And so here I am. The amount that I used honestly could have been used across my whole head, but I was just kind of like trying to show out for y'all a little bit. But I'm using it also to detangle my hair, which I think I also really love about Design Essentials shampoos, is that you can detangle with the product in. And I'm just kind of pulling my strands apart. Not very gently in this clip, I'm sorry, but I'm pulling my strands apart, and that's kind of helping me like detangle and get through. And then I'm just really scrubbing into my mids and my ends, because, you know, we didn't do a lot of concentration of the first shampoo on those parts, so I'm trying to make sure that they get nice and clean. But I'm continuing to detangle gently around the front of my hair and the sides, and really making sure that I add back moisture and hydration around my edges, because if you remember, we really scrubbed in there. I love how this stuff also looks like liquid gold. Like the yellow coloring of it is just so pretty to me. But I'm going in on this side and just once again repeating the same steps, kind of like finger coiling in some places where I feel like it's appropriate, and just continuing to detangle. Also, my scalp scrubber doubles as a detangling brush, so sometimes I also use that to kind of like detangle some of my ends in the shower. But I don't do a lot of detangle in the shower outside of just like what I can get through in my fingers and what I can get through by just pulling my strands apart. And of course, we kind of have to play with the sides. Like, I feel like I'm just a girl. It's really fun. But I was just kind of playing with different shapes and experimenting with different cuts. But here I am once again rinsing out the shampoo fully. This stuff is very thick, very creamy, so you want to make sure that you are fully like squeezing out all of the shampoo, because as you can tell, it kind of gets really thick up in there at the scalp. So I'm just making sure that all of it is fully rinsed out of my hair, and my hair just always feels so moisturized. Like, look at how gorgeous and juicy those curls are. I was actually so excited because I was like, this just looks so pretty. And typically I can't see my hair because I'm not recording, so the fact that I could see, I was like, yeah, this was a good shampoo. As always, I expect nothing less from Design Essentials, honestly. And so I'm continuing to rinse all of this out. You see the little bit in the front, so that's why I'm pulling out the detachable shower head to make sure I'm really getting everything in the edges and under my hair. And then after all of that is done, I put my hair up in a bun, and I always prefer to condition outside the shower, so that's what we're about to do next. All right, friends, we are out the shower. It is time to deep condition. Personally, I prefer to deep condition and condition outside the shower, because being in the shower after 2 to 3 rounds of shampooing and then having to go on top and condition my hair and then sit in there while it like processes, just honestly, it's just too much for me personally. So I just like to get out the shower, finish washing my body, and come back to it afterwards. The curls are looking pretty good, so we have a great base to condition our hair with. Now, when I am deep conditioning, I like to use hot water in my spray bottle. This is a hack that I learned recently, and I feel like my cuticle just opens up better and absorbs the product in the conditioner way better when the water is warm to hot versus when the water is cold. Just gonna douse my hair back in water again, because as someone with medium to high porosity hair, my hair dries very fast. So just gonna re-wet the whole thing. Okay, I sectioned my hair off, Just making sure that the roots and everything are fully drenched in water. To condition, we're gonna be using the Rosemary and Mint Super Stimulating Moisturizing Conditioner from Design Essentials. As you can tell, there's a common theme of using a lot of rosemary products in my scalp detox because rosemary is just so good for your scalp. But this stuff is amazing. I'm already like at the bottom. I think this might be like my third bottle. I have another one in there, so I'm not gonna run out in this video. But I love this conditioner. I feel like it really, like it says, it's very stimulating. So I feel like you can literally feel your scalp like breathing fresh air when you use this conditioner, especially after you have detoxed your scalp. Like it is just such an amazing feeling. I love it. And it is also very moisturizing. I use a pretty good amount. I'm gonna start with this much and then I'm probably gonna go in with more. I am not ashamed to use a lot of conditioner. And I'm really just going in and rubbing it into every strand of my hair. I'm gonna go in and add some more. I want my hair to be like completely coated. I don't really understand how people are capable of like conditioning without sectioning. Like the way I see some girls just like slap conditioner on their hair, I'm like, maybe I'm using too much. I don't know, but I feel like the only way to use the right amount for me is by going in section by section. Now I'm just going in and brushing my hair just to kind of detangle, but also to make sure that all of this product is evenly distributed, which when it starts to look like that, that's how you know that it's all in there. All right, taking my next section. The scalp is squeaky clean, okay? Squeaky clean. This conditioner itself, I think is about between $12 and $14, but I am a bargain shopper and I usually catch it half off or at least 40% off when Ulta has sales. So that's usually when I stock up on it. Oh my gosh. So there hits a point where you start to feel the rosemary stimulating parts start to really kick in, and it just hit, which means I need to start moving faster because I will say this stuff is so strong. Sometimes it makes my eyes water a little bit. So let me keep it moving. It's starting to get me a little bit. I feel like I'm being dramatic and I don't want this to tear you off from using the product. But if you are like very sensitive to things like this, just like be careful. But my nose is also super sensitive, so. I'm gonna go ahead and cue up my hood dryer because I'm gonna sit under some heat. So if you hear the noise in the background, it's my hood dryer. Scooping out every single corner of this product. Like nothing goes to waste. Brushed it through, twisting up this last section. Just putting a little bit on the roots, putting a little bit more on the side that I did earlier, and just really coating my hair, adding back just a little bit of water to the side. And we're done with all this. I'm about to go grab my plastic cap. Okay, we got my plastic cap. Put my hair under it. When I tell y'all I have a salon in my house, I have a salon in my house. Okay, I'm gonna sit under the hood dryer for about 10 minutes or so, maybe 15. Just really make sure that the moisture is really penetrating into my hair, and I will check back with y'all after it's done. All right, we sat under the dryer for 10 minutes and I rinsed out my hair, and the scalp is completely squeaky clean. It feels amazing and is perfectly primed for styling. Now, I'm not gonna show y'all it on camera, but I go in with my rosemary water from Camille Rose and I just go in and just spray it within my parts, and I feel like that just gives me that extra little like tangling, and it's just such a nice sensation. I also use this throughout the week whenever my scalp starts to like bother me or get irritated. This really helps give me like that cooling sensation, and so I I literally just like, if it's itchy right here, I'll just like spray right there, and I'll kind of rub it in, and that really helps. So I'm gonna go in with this, and I'm gonna go in with my Olaplex number 5 leave-in, and I feel like I always have the most moisturized curls after I use this. So this is my goated combo for my scalp care routine. So that is everything. I really hope that y'all enjoyed this and that this was super helpful. Filming in the shower is always a challenge for me, so I really hope that this actually just helps someone, and y'all can see what I actually do when I wash my hair and how I really get in there and get my scalp clean. So if this was helpful, or if you liked it, please like, comment, subscribe, and send to a friend. Thanks for watching, and I can't wait to see y'all for the next episode of Nihilistic Classified.